I've talked before about how being unproductive can lead to guilt, or how responsibility can often end up feeling like some sort of pressure to meet someone else's expectations. And speaking of expectations, you might remember how fickle expectations can be. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that we need to do things a certain way, at a certain speed, to be quote-unquote on track. But what if we just took things at our own pace? And as I reflect on the past videos, I realize there's a recurring theme in a lot of the things that I've talked about. That being how fast life can feel sometimes. It seems like there's this expectation that we should have it all figured out by a certain time, and if we don't, well, we get punished for it, and we should feel bad about it. I'd like to talk about that today. You might have felt this too at some point. That sort of pressure to hit milestones when everyone else seems to be running ahead. I remember distinctly being back in my final years of high school and being asked the dreadful question, so what do you want to do when you graduate? I absolutely hate that question. I had no clue. Everyone else seemed to have an answer to it, and to me, it almost felt like I needed to have an answer as well. But life doesn't move in a straight line. And I've learned this lesson the hard way. My 20s are defined by trial and error. There were times that I thought I had it all figured out, only to be hit by a wall, and it was frustrating. But with the benefit of time, and I suppose being 28 now, I guess you can call that wisdom, I can safely say that I wouldn't want to have it any other way. I now feel like that the mistakes, the successes, everything that had happened has led me to this particular moment. To be where I am now. With a much clearer view of what I want to do, where I want to go. And yeah, it took me a while to get there, but that's okay. I've realized that trying to live up to someone else's timeline just simply doesn't work for me, and it doesn't work for anyone. So stop comparing your pace to someone else's. It's easy, right, to look at someone else's success and think, well, I should be there too. But the truth is, those people didn't get there overnight. They too had their own setbacks, their own detours, their own times of feeling lost. And life isn't a race. It's definitely not about who gets there first. It's about figuring out what works for you, what feels right for you, and allowing yourself the space to take it slow when you need to. Because, right, it's tempting to look at others and think they've got it all together, but the truth is far more complicated than that. And often it's messy too, and filled with uncertainty, just like my own life, just like my own experiences, and probably just like yours. So, how do you live at your own pace? And I think that's a great question that I unfortunately don't have a clear-cut answer for. But I can tell you what works for me, and maybe we can find some common ground. Well, first and foremost, it starts by giving yourself the room to pause, to take a step back, and to reevaluate when you need to. And there's no rush to it, right? Like, you're exactly where you are right now, and yeah, sure, maybe there are things you want to improve on and should improve on, and that's okay. But go from there, one step at a time. And there will be times when you feel behind. That's totally normal. Life isn't something we can control. Things happen that we didn't expect, or sometimes just have absolutely no say over. But often, not always, but often there's a lesson to be learned along the way. And sometimes that can even put you, quote unquote, ahead of others in ways that really matter. So I would say that the key is learning to let go a little bit, to let go of expectations that others place on you, and give yourself the grace to be where you are. Take all of it in, take ownership of all of it, the good, the bad, everything in between, accept yourself as a whole. So, when you're feeling overwhelmed or you feel like you're falling behind, just ask yourself, what does my pace look like? Right? Ground yourself in that moment and then just let it unfold. Trust yourself.